You're
Hi,
live.
everyone.
Hey, I'm Dart.
I'm Lisa.
Yeah, I'm glad you showed up again this week and looking forward to another nice show.
Yes, and we want to give a big shout out to McKenna.
That's right. Yes, we love McKenna being our hall monitor. So post your comments and questions in there and be sure to like and share. We
Yes,
appreciate those.
and if you need a website, you can always reach out to McKenna because she makes incredible websites.
Right.
So, um, anyway, you want to tell what we do?
Yeah. Well, we believe that life is full, or a complete life is full of good relationships, your health, and your wealth. So we take that approach with financial planning. And what else do we believe, Lisa?
Well, we believe a lot of things, but when it comes to financial planning, we believe it should be fun. We want you to have fun
Mm-hmm.
and make memories here on Earth. But when it's time for you to retire, we don't want you to be stressing out. And so,
Right.
yeah, we just take that and make sure that they're ready, they're prepared, and when it's time for retirement, they can have fun
Right.
in retirement as well.
That's right. And it's and if you are not getting a pension from a company, then it's 100% of our the responsibility of preparing a retirement income is based on is all on our shoulders. So it's there's a right way and a better way to go about it. So,
Right, right. Well,
yeah.
tonight we have a special guest, a dear friend, Anna Lima. She's from Prosper Insurance, but she has an amazing story, and we want to bring her on and share her with you. Let's just bring her up. Hi,
Hi,
Anna.
guys. Thanks for
Hi.
Hey.
having me.
Absolutely, absolutely. So we can talk later, maybe more about what you do, but we wanted
Yeah.
to start with your journey. You have an amazing story, and you're always so grateful and so happy and so positive, and you bring light to every room you come in. But yeah, so tell us a little bit
I
about
mean,
yourself when you were born in another country.
yeah. I mean, we are having some technical difficulties, but what would be life without a challenge? So we'll take it. I hope now you guys can hear me okay.
Yes,
Yes.
There
Yes.
you
We
go.
do. Very
Perfect
clear.
example.
Yep.
So you were asking if I moved here from Portugal when?
yes, we want to hear your story of what that looked like for you.
Yeah. So I was actually born in Massachusetts. So my mom was in college at SMU or US Dartmouth, and I was born there with my brother. Like 11 months later or 13 months later. So when I was 2, my brother was 1. They went back to the Azores Islands where I grew up. So was very fortunate to always have an American citizenship. That is quite a blessing. And here my mom and dad always tell me that the best days of their lives were here in America. So in 2006, I was like, okay, let's use my passport and just move to America and learn the language, and here I am 15 years later. It's kind of hard to believe it's been that long.
Yes.
Right.
So you didn't learn English in Portugal.
Well, we do. It's actually a requirement. You have like with geography, history, Portuguese, English, and then you pick a third language. So I picked French at the time. My French, I can pretty understand a lot, but because I never speak, it's not that fluent. But English was, I mean, if you don't speak every day, so it's kind of crash course when I moved here. I remember I was exhausted just mentally because the translation that nobody spoke Portuguese here, like besides my godparents Maria and then more. Hi, Dan and Maria, if you're watching. So yeah, I would be so tired, but it was the constant translating from Portuguese to English. But I'm still
We want to
working
hear
on
your
that.
journey. We want to hear your story. You have an amazing story. We want to hear about it.
Yeah, no. So I have a funny story about my learning English and everything. So one of my best friends now, Missy, she was so grateful to hire me, and I would do anything because I always take a challenge, and I'm not afraid of challenging myself, and that's what actually makes me excited and motivated. I need challenge in my life to make me want to do more and learn more. So it was funny because I would do anything in the office, but she would be like, honey, don't bother answering the phones because nobody can understand you. And that's how bad my English was. And, still working on it. But, it's I'm fluent in Spanish as well that I actually learned when I moved to Tennessee, believe it or not. So
Yes.
that's,
Yes.
And when I get nervous, also I gotta just mix everything and have a thick accent or whatever. That's who I am.
Or if you get angry at someone, you can just speak Portuguese. They
Oh
won't.
yeah, I already do that with my daughter. Good thing nobody understands. Juliana, she's 3.5, so I've been speaking in Portuguese with her since she was born. And it's great. I tell her that is our secret language, and she pretty much understands everything. So yeah, I'll be out and about. She's been a trooper. She's my buddy. She goes everywhere. I think before she was 1, she already had 3 stamps on her passport.
Wow.
So
Wow.
I took her to Portugal. She was 2 months old, and been trying to go as much as I can because my family is still there. My mom, my grandmother, my sister lives in Valencia, Spain. My brother is a little north of Lisbon. So we try to get together. That's why family for me is so important, just because I don't have the luxury to be with mine when I want. So I really appreciate, and I'm so thankful for other families that kind of took me in as a family member, because if it wasn't for my friends that I've built and was so blessed to actually be connected through these 15 years, I don't know. I think they've been my peer for who I am and where I am with my career. And I went from dishwasher to nanny to working on a mortgage company as a processor admin. Did loans for a couple of years. You bring it, and then just got in the insurance business. That has been like 12 years, and I love it.
Yes.
But it's just being around people. That's what I love the most.
That's exactly what you love most. Yes. So, how do you feel about the differences living in Portugal versus here? Like, talk about
Well,
that.
I'm still working on where y'all from.
Where y'all from? That's pretty good.
And I'm fixing to go have dinner.
Like your mom and them.
Right.
Yes. But I sometimes I would say certain things so sudden I was like, oh, that just came out, and people think it's funny because I'm here in Tennessee and I love it.
Yes. Yes. So, do you feel like the lifestyle is different in Portugal versus America?
It's pretty different. Well, I mean, it's a European country. You walk a lot. I've gained a few pounds after I moved here, not gonna lie, but you just have to get used to the other things that you can do to just be healthy. And I really try as much as I can, like not do sugars, and try to do all the vegetables. My daughter loves like octopus, a sauerkraut. Her favorite vegetable is a beet. So I don't know.
Wow.
It's kind of neat that with the lifestyle and being as healthy as I can, and but it's different. Everything there is walking distance. We have public transportation here. If you don't have a car, it's kind of hard to go anywhere. And I had a hard time seeing people with pajamas at the grocery store.
Yes.
But now I kind of get that was kind of a huge cultural shock.
Right.
I'm like, did they just? But it's just those things. Or ice in my water. I still today. Water, no ice.
Right.
It's a European thing.
Yeah.
Or my mayo with my French fries.
Mayo with your French fries.
Wow.
Okay. Yeah. So but tell us a little about your personal story and how maybe you've grown and changed in the challenges, and what has looked like for you.
Oh, well, I don't know. And this time, can definitely anybody that wants to get together can reach out for a coffee or lunch. I'm all for that. But I don't know how personal you want to get. So I've been divorced almost for 3 years. So I've been kind of took a break after my kid was born and with a divorce and everything. And we owed each other that time with each other. And I mean, everything really happens for a reason, as cliche as it sounds, because we both needed each other at that time. And I was fortunate that I could actually take the time and give all of me to my daughter, because we kind of needed each other. So when she was 2, I kind of took her to a church daycare down the street here in Franklin, where I've been for 14 years. And I dropped her off, and I was like, okay, Mama's ready to go back to work. Because I never, things just happened that I just stayed home longer than expected. And for me, my career, and just feel like I'm giving back to the community. It means a lot to me because it gives me a purpose. And so, yeah. So
Yes.
just
So let's talk about your career and what you do, what you offer.
Yeah, so right now, so I'm with Prosper Insurance. Just had my anniversary June 1st. Super excited to be with a phenomenal, amazing company. We are an independent agency based in Virginia Beach. We've been in Tennessee for 2 years, but we can ride in a lot of different states like Kentucky, Georgia, North Carolina, South Carolina, Maryland, Virginia, of course, and working to get more states. So surrounding areas for sure. I work a lot with loan officers and just love helping people and use my experience and just being in the business for so long. Even if any of my friends they don't need to meet my clients. If they have a question and they just want to ask me something, if I have the answer, I'm always available. And so we do home and auto, all the personal lines insurance, commercial, and pretty much Prosper. Pretty much everything but health insurance.
Right. Right. That's amazing. And that's a lot.
Yeah, but I focus more on the personal lines insurance. And I've
Yeah.
been doing that for a long time.
Right.
Right.
And I feel like that you do a lot of events.
Party. Woo, woo.
Right.
I'm always ready for a good party.
I was about to say, at the crawfish bowl, the bounce house
Yeah.
is like, dismiss the kids up the hill, and they didn't buy, they were they came down at 8, went back to the bounce house.
I know. What a great event, guys, by the way. I'm so glad that you guys allow me to be part of it and just get to
Yeah.
know so many amazing people here around our community because we actually less than a mile away from each other, believe it or not.
Right.
Yeah.
It's
Right.
so crazy.
I know. I
Yeah.
know. I think we're all supposed to meet at the right time.
Right.
And
I agree, Lisa
Yes.
and Dart.
Yes.
You guys, it's been definitely a blessing to get to know you, Lisa. I've been following your journey and everything, and you're quite an inspiration. So thanks for having me here.
thank
No.
you. So but that is something that you do. So some of you who are listening, I feel like that Anna is always up for events. If you're holding some kind of event, like
Right.
she is
Yeah.
there. Reach out to her.
Right.
My position actually with Prosper is a little bit different. The agency that I used to own with my ex-husband, I'm a business development executive now. So I help loan officers and realtors and anyone on that sphere of business to grow their business. So that's
Right.
why I want to be an asset and help anyone that is ready to get busy because
Right. Right.
there's no such thing
Absolutely.
as too much business.
Right. So if you're watching this on replay or YouTube,
Right.
yes, Anna's information is in the chat, and you could reach out to her.
She's a good one to partner with. So.
Yes.
Oh, thank you guys.
Yes. You go ahead, babe. I'm sorry.
No, I'm
I'm always the talker.
You're fine.
So, okay. So what is something that you would like for everyone to know about you? Like, what is something that you would just like to share that you love? Because I feel like you haven't talked a lot about like your challenges and your obstacles, but yet at the same time, you're so grateful. So could you just speak to that a little bit? Because everyone goes through challenges.
So, and again, not to get too personal, I really believe when I moved here, my quote that I really don't remember where I read that, but I was still in college, and it was like, you can only regret the things that you don't do.
Yeah.
So that's why I just went for it. When I moved here in 2006, I really didn't know many people. And I moved with 60 pounds of clothes. That was all. And just left everything behind. And I was like, let's see what happens. And moved to Brentwood, to my godparents' home. They were I'm very grateful that they took me in as one of their family and kids. This is a funny story. So even though I was born in Massachusetts, not that long ago, because I'm not that old, but they used to not give the social at birth, right?
Oh, right.
I don't know. I wanted to get
Right.
so. So when I moved here, I was 26 years old, and I'm at the department to get my social security, and I had my birth certificate, my passport, and they kept looking, birth certificate, passport. I was like, how is that possible? You 26-year-olds and you don't have a social security number? Because I had to explain that I grew up in Portugal in the Azores Island, São Miguel, And that I really never moved here because I only got my Portuguese passport when I was maybe 17 or 18 living there. So that was something. And so that's why a lot of the people involved in my first jobs, they were whole. It was a great way to save actually, because technically I didn't have my social. So I got a
You were
lump
off the
sum
grid.
after a few months. Yeah. I was not illegal. I had my,
No, you
my
were off the grid.
documents, but to get paid. But it worked out because then I think it was 3 months later, I had a down payment for my first car. It was like an '02 Jetta that that I really liked. So I always think it's a funny story just
Well, and
because.
probably they thought you just created yourself. Like you just went and got some fake
Oh
ID.
no!
You're
And,
just
and one of my
learn from
favorite
the law.
jobs was, yeah, for sure. And just making the best with the opportunity or whatever happens, and just having that good energy. Like they can call me naive or whatever people want to call, but I see a lot of the good. So I feel if I do the good and have good thoughts, good is coming back to me. Because I mean, there's no way that if you don't do good, But even though if something bad happens, you still want to know there's a reason why in a positive way that happened, that makes you who you are. Build that.
Right.
I was gonna say something about that. Oh, my favorite job was being a dishwasher at this wine bar on 12 South. I swear, I have only good memories of that job. But I would stay up until 2 o'clock in the morning washing dishes. But then building the relationship with the chef, the sweetest thing, he was from Argentina, and we would just salsa dance and speak Spanish in the kitchen, and it was so much fun.
That's funny. And he
But
taught you how to cook, right?
Well, I kind of knew. He knew that I wanted to. I grew up kind of cooking with my mom and being in college, so I always like to cook, and I still do. You can just tell me I'll do curries, pad thais, anything from scratch, and a lot of fish, of course. But because I was like, hey, let me help you, he was like, here, let's. So, my favorite recipe is his. It was a tuna tartare that I love it.
Yum.
So I learned, yeah.
Yum.
So your godparents were here in Brentwood, so that kind
They
of
are.
answers the question of how you landed in Nashville. But
Yeah.
what prompted you to leave Portugal?
That is a great question. I love it. So I had a few options. I could go back to New Bedford, Massachusetts, that I still have family there and I love, and I had another friend, my parents' friend in California and San Luis Obispo. I don't know if you guys know that area. It's kind of mountains and beach. But then I had Maria here. I grew up coming here for summers, even when they had Opry Land.
Right.
As a kid, and they would bring their kids in the summer, so we had that relationship. So at least, I knew somebody, and they are so welcoming. They were used to having exchange students from other countries, and so I felt good and comfortable to just move to Brentwood, Tennessee.
Yes. Well, we're glad you did.
I know, I love it.
So you moved here for the opportunity to be a dishwasher at 12.
I mean, it's whatever. It was great, and I still have a lot of friends that take me back to being the servers, the owners. We became friends. I still have friends. I still have some connections with people that I met on that time. One of my best friends, Valerie, I met her because I knew some of the waiters and waitresses, and she's my hairdresser and she's my best friend.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah.
I think everybody should work in the restaurant business at some point in time in their life, because that way you know when you go and you don't get the best service, you're like, oh, I get it. You must have had a bad day, or you had bad customers.
Right.
Like, I get it.
Or you really appreciate good service.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I do. And it's funny because my friends, sometimes I embarrass them a little bit because they're like, oh, don't say anything. Don't say, as a chef, I would want to know if a feedback, so I don't see it as a negative thing. So very politely and in a positive way, I was like, I don't know, maybe you have too much salt on your food. Because because I
Yeah.
don't. Maybe it's not even the chef salting the food. He had somebody else do that. So
Right.
I just
Yeah.
had that happen the other day. I was like, no, don't send it back. Okay, I see it. I would want to know. So
Right.
Absolutely. I would
Right.
too. I would too. That's how we grow and learn, just
Right.
even in life.
Hmm.
yeah,
We
Yep.
rub each other off that way. Yeah. Dart and I working together in our business, and we're so opposite. We just do that. We just rub each other and
yeah.
just you know with that positive attitude of I want to learn more, but and I want to be coachable.
Hmm.
And
Yeah, and gosh, my kid, she goes to school Monday through Friday from 8 to 5. That's sometimes like, oh my gosh, I don't know. She's been there all day, but I get there if it's 5 minutes too early, and she has not had a chance to get her snacks, PM snacks. She's like, "Mommy, come back later." So I have to go back and come after 5 minutes after 5 because she just loves her school and her friends
Oh, oh,
and
that's good.
everybody's. Yeah, so
Yeah.
it makes me feel good about it because
yeah,
mama has to work.
right,
Hmm.
and it
But
makes me
she's
feel good that
such.
she loves where she is.
Oh no, she loves it so much. Every day she's excited. We pick her clothes before at night, so she's ready
Uh,
for the next day.
that's precious.
Yeah, she's definitely like her mama, but you never know. People tell me all the time, "Oh, go figure,"
Go
but
figure.
you never know how your kid is gonna turn out. But
Right.
so
Right,
far, I'm so glad that she has that personality too, not shy at all.
Right.
right. And so she's learning to speak Portuguese as well.
Yeah. Right
Wow.
now is interesting. So I only speak Portuguese. Actually, it was my brother. He was like, "You need to have her respond in Portuguese because I would say everything like a 5 phrase sentence, and she will be responding in English." So now I'm like, okay, so how do you say that in Portuguese? So she can actually think about it because, of course, for her, English is easier. But I guess
Hmm.
eventually, when it clicks, it will click or not. But you do what you do. Who knows?
Right.
I was fortunate that you were asking about me learning English. So my dad was he was a consul, a diplomat for a long time. So he would always have friends, people from every and he was a short M radio.
Oh yeah.
It was his hobby. He
Mhm.
just passed away in October, and
Right.
Right.
it was good that we all got to meet in Portugal right before
Yeah.
he went to another place. But so he would always have people over from, I don't know, you name it, Australia, Canada, and England. And so I grew up listening in English a lot. And then the movies also in Portugal, they don't double the movies. They do the movie in English with Portuguese subtitles, so that you're listening in English but reading in Portuguese. So you start associating a lot.
Yeah.
I think that helped me a lot in the music, and my parents always speaking in English because they were just like that, and we always have a friend visiting from another country. So
Right.
That's great. That's incredible.
Mm.
yeah.
Okay, so just one last thought that you would like to
Mhm.
give to the viewers. What would you like to say?
Oh, this is actually from a meeting that we had at Polka Dot, maybe I don't know, last week, about what you would say to your 20-year-old self.
Yes.
That I was the first one going, so I was not prepared. But as and I've been thinking about this for a week now, is just enjoy the moment and travel as much as you can, because for me traveling, I've been very fortunate, and I want to keep that up with my daughter. So
Right.
just travel, travel, travel. Especially
Absolutely.
with this crazy last year we had, so I'm already just
Right.
booking everything as much as I can.
Right.
Yeah.
And I
Right.
think that makes for more of a well-rounded person. I was getting tongue-tied. I think it makes
Yeah.
for more of a well-rounded person, so
Well,
that
mhm.
you see how other cultures are and how they
Yeah,
to
not being so
appreciate.
self-centered and
Yeah.
you actually always seeing, experimenting other cultures definitely
Right.
puts things in perspective. What's something that you think is the normal in another country is not, so it gives you more freedom in your mind to
Right.
actually accept other things. And
Yes.
yeah, no, when I'm having a bad day, I mean, why? I mean, I'm healthy. I have beautiful friends and family. You need really to grab those things that are solid in your life and just not give as much importance to things that are just taking that bad energy. So I always
Right.
choose to be happy and just see the best in people, for sure.
Amen. Amen
Yeah.
to that. I feel like that, people can be different and they have different ideas, they have different viewpoints, they have different prejudices or different likes or different things and different cultures. But I think that all in all, the one thing that we all have in common as humans is we all want to love and be loved.
I love a good hug.
Yeah.
Like, come here. I don't know. You never met. You come here for a hug.
Exactly. They made COVID weird, so now people are like, do you shake hands? I'm like, no, I hug. Are you good with a
I
hug?
know. Sorry. Just go. Here's some sanitizer. Go get your.
Yeah, here's some sanitizer. Yeah.
From
Yeah.
Prosper Insurance. We have some.
There you
Right.
go.
That's right.
That's right.
That's right.
Another plug. So go ahead, Beth.
I don't have any wrap up.
Well, thank you so much for being on our show. We appreciate
Thank you.
And I feel like, those of you watching, you want to do business with people that like, and trust, and just hearing Anna's story and her adventures. And it just makes you feel like, oh, I want to do business with her.
Well, thanks. But it's definitely, like you said, just doing business with people you love and trust it makes it easy. Otherwise, your days are not as fun.
Right.
So thanks for being so fun and making financial investment fun too.
Right.
Yes.
Absolutely.
All right, girl.
All right.
Thanks,
All right,
everybody.
thanks for having. Thanks, guys, everybody, for watching.
Okay.
All right.
Bye-bye.
Bye.